We are here on a conference organized and co-organized between the European Academy of Diplomacy, the Faculty of International and Political Studies of the Jagiellonian University, and the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. And on behalf of all those organizations, I welcome you warmly. This day today, in this room today, we have a number of different participants. First and foremost, the participants of the 13th edition of the Academy of Young Diplomats. Almost 180 students coming from, and we counted finally, 38 countries. So it is a fantastic group, and welcome here. For those of you who are not acquainted with the Academy of Young Diplomats, let me just tell you that it is a program run from December to June of every year, a program that the European Academy of Diplomacy has been running since 2004. So 13th edition, of course, the 13th year of this program, but also a program that among the sessions that happen mostly in Warsaw has one external session outside of Warsaw, and this is it for the 13th edition. It's also a tremendous pleasure for us because it's the first time we come to Cracow. And it's a very good question why it took us 13 years to get here with the external session. I do not have a clear answer for you. I think we've always thought that it's very difficult to find hotels in Cracow, which is not the case. So I think we're going to come back here more and more often for events like this. Apart from the Academy of Young Diplomats, we have an outstanding group here with us, 16 participants of the Visegrád School of Political Studies migration program. You will meet them here as speakers in the second panel. You'll also meet them during coffee breaks and during the night integration. These are people coming and young leaders coming from the 4 Visegrád countries and Germany that actually already have devoted a substantial time of their life to migration questions. Some of them run their own NGOs, some of them assist refugees in their countries, some of them do research on migration. So it's a group of very interesting leaders actually working on the issues on a daily basis. So I think they will not only enrich our panels here, but also our discussion, and I welcome you very warmly here. It is your third meeting after Warsaw and Strasbourg. And this group, starting from next month, will go actually to high schools in the Visegrád 4 and in Germany to speak to young students and see what their opinions are about immigration and about the refugee crisis that the EU is undergoing. And finally, I welcome all our other participants. We have registered over 40 participants from the Jagiellonian University and from other institutions here in Cracow. We're very privileged to have you, and I hope you're going to enjoy the conference as much as we hope to enjoy it ourselves. Finally, I would like to thank all our partners. I've already mentioned the Jagiellonian University Faculty of International and Political Studies, and I will pass the floor to them as well, and also the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. But I would also like to mention our other partners and who have made this event possible. Among them is the Bosch Stiftung, the Polish-German Cooperation Foundation, and of course the Council of Europe, which is our institutional partner and a very important guiding institution for all the activities of the European Academy of Diplomacy. So to conclude, I wanted to wish you a very fruitful discussion. I think we're hoping to have much more input from the floor actually than only from the panels. So we'll try to have the introductory remarks as short as possible. And I encourage you very much to actively participate in today's conference. Now I would like to introduce to you and yield the floor to Dr. Dariusz Niedźwiecki, who is the director of the Institute of European Studies here at the Faculty of International Political Studies of the Jagiellonian University. Panie doktorze, zapraszamy.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear professors, dear students, dear colleagues, it's a great honor to welcome you at the meeting of the Academy of Young Diplomats on the title The EU Migration and Refugee Crisis Perspective from Visegrád and Germany, organized at our university. First time, but I hope not the last one. I have no doubts that the topic is very important and current, this topic about the migration and refugee. Migration is one of the basic factors of social change in the modern world. First, the migrants, as bearers of important social characteristics, affect the demographic changes, including the transformation of the structure of age, sex, education, and above all, the size of a particular community. Second, migrants as labor reinforce the economic changes by transforming the supply and demand and labor market and market of goods and services. Thirdly, the migrants are carriers of cultures different from those existing in the place of emigration, which leads to the phenomena of cultural diffusion and affect processes as syncretism, the amalgamation and hybridization of cultures. Migration is one of the factors that initiate dynamic forms of socialization, often described by numerous metaphors like network society, liquid modernity, the society of encounters, and so on and so on. These types of socialization signify the cohabitation of different peoples and cultures, the intermingling and encounters that occur in a multifaceted social space. In the case of refugees, we are witnessing of huge migratory movements in recent years. Its size and scope dimension is unprecedented since the mid-20th century in Europe. The numerous forced immigrants arrive on the old continent from the areas of Africa and Asia covered by the local and regional armed conflicts. They seek to escape from threats to life and health in the country of origin, as well as they look for the opportunities to improve living conditions extremely hostile in place that had left. The situation requires an enormous mobilization of European societies. Only thought and action planned offer the opportunity for efficient and effective assistance to refugees. We must remember that we have the moral obligation to do it. In the case of such tragedy as forced migration, our identification with human beings as such should be the basis of our action, our activity. Dear students, I have no doubt that diplomatic attitude is important in such situation. Remember that diplomacy is not only notion refers to relation between states and nations. Role of diplomatic knowledge and procedure in everyday life is more important for me as a sociologist and social anthropologist. Diplomacy as an approach to life means the attitude of the negotiating. It links to requirement for cooperation, recognition of partner, willingness to make concessions, the will of agreement. I wish you fascinating panels, lectures, and discussion during the seminar. I'm sure that you enrich your theoretical and empirical knowledge. I hope that it brings you closer to a diplomatic attitude in everyday life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. Thank you for these very wise and inspiring words. I would like now to invite to the podium Mr. Michel Quaas, who is the representative of the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. The Konrad Adenauer has been a partner of our external sessions since 2005. So since the second edition of the Academy of Young Diplomats, and it's an immense pleasure to be doing and organizing these external sessions for the 12th time together. So welcome here, Mr. Quaas in Cracow.
Thank you, Kasia. I wasn't at CAS in 2005, and I don't know what happened that we did not support the first external session of the European Young Diplomat Academy. I should talk to the director, the former director. I think I know him very well. Thank you for cooperating with us and for making it possible that we're working together, as you said, for such a long time to realize the external sessions. But I would also like to thank the director, Mr. Nieczwiecki, to host us here today in this impressive building. It's very nice, and I think it's inspiring for us to be able to exchange our ideas freely and to get to a good discussion. Also, thank you that the external session is taking place in Cracow. I've been living in Warsaw for 2 years now, but I like coming here. It's a very different city. It's got this very nice spirit. So if you plan to continue the external sessions in Cracow, please invite me again. I will join gladly. For those of you who don't know Konrad Adenauer Foundation, I think I would like to spend a little bit telling you about the institution, because I think it's a very interesting way of, we're leading a very interesting way of working together with different partner institutions throughout the world. We have, I think, more than 70 offices in the world. We're cooperating with partner organizations from more than 100 countries, and one of these countries is Poland. Konrad Adenauer Foundation is based on the values of Christian democracy. We are working in Germany as well, and our idea is to provide a platform for the pluralism and for pluralistic ideas that exist in the world. We want to support the contest of ideas to make these the exchange of ideas possible, and to provide space for debates. And I think one of these spaces, I think, can be today's debate. To identify the challenges and tasks which we are faced when we're talking about migration. One other aspect that we're working is that we're trying to promote ideas through publications, and I would like to invite all of you to take the Tygodnik Powszechny, which is lying outside. If you read Polish, I really invite you to take one issue, because we've been working together with Tygodnik Powszechny since also for a long time. And at the end, at the very back of the Tygodnik, there is a part which is dedicated to today's issue. It's called The Era of Refugees, and there we collected essays and comments by different authors on the issue of migration, refugees, the challenges and tasks from Poland and also from Germany. I think you will meet me later when we're talking, when we have the second panel discussion. So now I would like to give the word back to you, Kasia, to start with the meritoric part of this session. Thank you.